Before I continue, disclaimer, it's about 2 a.m., a little bit past that. Can't sleep, fiance can, which is always the case. I don't know why that it is. I don't know, I'm not nervous about insomnia in a Stephen King type of way. I'm not expecting to see these weird-ass midget doctors dressed in white steal people's souls or shit like that. But I definitely have something. Like, sleep just doesn't seem like it's that important to me. You know, it feels like I can function off of 4 or 5 hours of sleep for like a week straight. And then I just go through a couple days of complete shutdown and I can't do anything. But that seems to be my balance. Anyways, this tangent aside, please remind me. That's when my voice is going to be lower, okay? So this is like midnight Indy Hobo type of stuff going on. Also, the next time I run across one of those green shields that I've been so tantalized but confused about, please remind me because I got something I want to talk about. Okay, let's go. Now look at this green shield right here. So that green shield, that green shield made me think of a mechanic that I want to explore. And the mechanic is real simple. These fields are the mechanic. So each level is divided into sections, and these green things and these force fields divide the level into sections. And the mechanic is basically each force field is there's certain colors, and each color pertains to a certain goal or unique mechanic to that section of the level. So it might be I pass through this force field, I turn green, and now I can do something different that I couldn't do, say I'm over here. So over here I can only lift up an object, while over here I can grab objects, but only in this section. So it's not like you assign mechanics to the actual toy that I'm playing with. The mechanics are allotted out by these force fields. And so for each section of the level, you have to play with and maneuver and control this creature in a unique mechanical way that is unique to this section. So mechanics are allotted to sections. They're not developed within the toy that I'm playing with. I think it's a really unique mechanic, and I think a really fun video game could be developed around that. And I'll explore more how that would be fun as I play this game. I just goddamn love the way these puzzle platformers introduce and navigate their mechanics. For example, if you can see up here, there's this glowing ball. I can't get to it. I'll try to get to it. Let's see how close I can get. I really can't get to it, but there's a glowing ball right above me, right? That glowing ball is there because I had stolen it from some weird-ass octopus-like mechanical creature, and then I just dropped it down a ball. And as soon as I dropped it down the ball, one of these blue things turned into red, which meant it closed off that section, right? Now, this is a brand new mechanic. See, it's a mechanic outside of my character. So my character has the basic mechanic of this. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to try to define mechanic right now. Mechanic has the basic mechanic of this. You can pick things up. That's it. That's all the character can do. But then the environment introduces all these new mechanics. Now the puzzle is not just about how well I can navigate and pick up shit like this. You know? The puzzles are about how can I use this one skill to get this glowing ball where it's supposed to be. This one skill, how can I do it? So to me it makes sense. You give your toy one simple ability, but then through your environment, you develop all these complex and interesting puzzles by adding objects and building upon that. I love it. It's fascinating. I never thought about making a game like this. I always thought my initial premise was I gotta make a really interesting but complex toy with all these different abilities, and then have those abilities adapt to the environment. Why not just give your toy one ability and then have that toy adapt to the environment and have the environment be a complex. It's like switching it up, but I like it. So here I am. I'm finishing up the second to last part of this puzzle, which is placing these blocks on these red switches, and then using somehow maneuvering this thing right here on top of them. Because clearly, and it's pretty genius how it just moves and stuff differently by how I grab it. But oh shoot, stupid thing. So now I just push it on. Obviously I'm gonna push it down. Got it. See that shit? So now, bam, new thing introduced. Now it's all about, might not all be about this, but now it's about using this white bone ball for some stuff that I just don't know about yet. But I'm real excited to see what happens when I do this. So it seems the objective, every time I pick up this white ball, this glowing ball, which does not obey normal gravitational laws. Look at that. Interesting. Kind of weird how they didn't explain why. But it seems like the objective is whenever I am actually in control of it, the objective is to get it to one of these things. Looks like I'm like falling here. Pop. Ooh. Look at this. It's getting darker. Now I'm using this glowing thing for its luminescent abilities now. That's a switch on stuff. I like that. These shadows and stuff are really getting to me, though. This is really interesting. What in the hell? What the heart? Why is there a heart there? Oh, so they give that to that guy. What the fuck? Isn't that the creepiest thing you've ever seen? Look how big it is. And since when was I inside of an actual organism? Whose valves and orders are metallic. Now, okay, something grabbed me from Earth. I was flying above Earth, and then this Mario pipe thing grabbed me. So it's an actual living creature? Oh shit, it's getting really freaking obscure and creepy here. But I'm already guessing I need to get a glowing ball to each one of these things, and then something will happen. That's my prediction. Here I find myself introduced to a brand new mechanic, which again is introduced me via the environment. So once again, I only use my one skill of just picking shit up. But with this mechanic, the actual weight properties of the objects I pick up are what I need to manage properly to progress in the game. Each one of these weights, when pressure's added, controls these things. So I need to figure out which the correct distribution of weight to properly, so I can line these things up. Anyways, you know, I don't have to explain to you how I'm freaking doing it. It makes sense. If you can't figure this out just from this little bit, then you should be whacked over the head with a mullet. A mullet, yes. Someone should die cast a mullet out of iron from some backcountry Texas Ranger's head, and then whack you over the head with his head, die-casted head. And interesting mechanic, but then there's something I want to kind of explore right now. This mechanic, this puzzle, there is nothing to think about. It's really just trial and error if you think about it. Even though there's nothing to think about, if you just think about it, it's trial and error. I just have to push down randomly and just figure out which moves what, right? And then just dick around with the weights and just to get it lined up. Like, there isn't a single moment when I'm using logic to figure this out, where I'm developing rules and I'm using these rules to kind of predict certain events and then adjusting the rules accordingly. There's no puzzles like that. You know, I'm talking puzzles like Sudoku or something like that, where you have to like look at things and understand rules first before you can deduce some meaning. This is like an inductive puzzle. You're given this environment, you observe, you observe. Oh, this does that does that, and then you solve accordingly. This is an inductive reasoning puzzle. Through observation, you learn a solution. Okay, inductive, deductive. Are there any deductive driven puzzles, adventure games? I know there's deductive driven adventure games like Puzzle Agent, but deductive driven puzzle adventure games, I don't know yet. Here's something I really like. The game first introduced to me these levers, right? And they're really interesting and position them in a very well-designed way. Now they're taking their function away from me. So even before I have a chance to get comfortable with something, they already changed it up on me, and that's really cool. That's really exciting to think. Oh, well, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get past this door now that my way that I was so comfortable doing is now gone? How the hell am I gonna do this? Good job, designers.